Hi, Sean Michael Andrews here, and today I've got a little story, an interesting piece of historical trivia, and a surprise. Okay, first the story. We've just finished the American Independence Day weekend, and Stephanie and I were flying back from Europe a couple of days ago, and we stopped in Atlanta. We had a long layover in Atlanta. So we were in the bar, and I noticed a couple of fellows sitting off to the side at the bar, and they both had beards and some tattoos, and they were fairly fit. And the one guy says to the other one, "Hey brother, when did you serve?" And the other guy said, "Sorry?" And he repeated himself. He said, "When did you serve?" And the guy answered, he said, I didn't serve." And the other fellow said, "Oh, okay, sorry." Now, if you're not from the American South, that might have seemed a very unusual question, but it's not, because many young men from the South join the military. As a matter of fact, the southern states are much overrepresented in the U.S. military. Of course, we have people from every state in the Union in the military. However, guys from Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, there are just a lot of people from the South. It's kind of a tradition. You're a young, able-bodied male, you're not ready to go to college yet, you go in the military. And all my friends here are former military. I'm former military, Air Force. And it's funny because all the guys that weren't in the military, they've got a story, of course, why they weren't in the military, because people wonder, why didn't you go in? And, you know, maybe the fella, one of my friends washed out of basic training, and another one had some sort of physical ailment and he was unable to serve. And, you know, so you either were in the military or you've got a story of why you weren't in the military. That's the way it is in the South. So anyway, as I said, I served in the U.S. military, and then after that I served for 25 years in the Defense Department. And one of the things that I learned in the military and in the Defense Department is that there are these things called challenge coins. And a challenge coin is an old military tradition which I brought to the hypnosis community about 10 years ago. And here's the way it works, or here's the story as to how challenge coins began. There was a young American pilot who was flying for the French in the beginning of World War I, before the U.S. had joined the war. And his unit commander had some coins minted, and these coins had the unit crest on them, and everybody in the unit got a coin, just sort of a morale builder, and just so they can identify who's a member of this unit. Anyway, so this one fella puts it in a leather pouch that hangs around his neck, and he gets shot down, and he's captured, and the Germans take everything from him except for this pouch, leather pouch. Important thing to remember: if you take a prisoner, make sure you take everything off of him. But they left him with his pouch, with his coin. And where they were holding him, there was a bombardment, and he managed to escape. And he found some civilian clothes and made it to the Allied lines. And there he was captured by the French, who had a really rough time recently with saboteurs. So they didn't know who he was and decided we better execute him. So, but anyway, he because he had no way to identify himself, but he did have this coin. So he takes this out and gives it to him, and it has a unit crest. And by a stroke of luck, one of the French soldiers recognized the crest, or thought it looked interesting, like it could be from an Allied organization. And so they decided to do a little bit more research before executing this fellow, and they found, yes, he's on our side. And the story goes that instead of executing him, they gave him a bottle of wine. And, I always like to get a bottle of wine when I'm not being executed, so I think that was good. So anyway, so that's the story of how challenge coins came to be. So they've been awarded for generations in the military, and the way it works is every unit has their challenge coin, and it's given by the unit commander, or it's given by the first sergeant or somebody in authority in the unit, often for excellence. And that's the way I've used this. I actually received a few coins when I was in the Defense Department for outstanding service. Occasionally I did something really good. So I have a few of these coins, and I treasure these. They're cool, and it's just given as an attaboy. So about 10 years ago, I brought this tradition to the hypnosis community, and I have a coin. And some of you know about this. I've gotten a lot of questions about this coin recently, and so I thought I'd tell you how these work. So I have a coin, and this is it, the latest version, and it's given for excellence, recognition of excellence from the Atlantic Hypnosis Institute. And then on the other side, it says who it's from. It's from me. Okay? So anyway, I haven't given many of these out. You have to earn them. And I'm not going to identify the people that have these, but there aren't too many. Just to give you an idea as to what someone does to deserve one of these coins, there was one hypnotist who organized an outstanding course for me that I taught overseas, and it was done so fantastic. I mean, everything was taken care of, and it was a really successful course. And so in recognition of the good work that hypnotist did, that hypnotist was awarded one of these coins. Not only hypnotists received these. Stephanie and I were on vacation in Europe last month, and when we were in Florence, we were staying at this little hotel, and the bellhop helped us out a lot, and really helped us with our suitcases and stuff. And I think they weighed more than he did. But anyway, he was great, and he was a font of information about the city and what we should do. And he was really wonderful to us. And one of the most significant things he did was he told us that in 3 days there's going to be a big event. He said it's the annual feast of Saint John the Baptist, who is the patron saint of Florence. And he said because of that, they're going to have fireworks. And he said, but also there's another hotel. There's a hotel across the street, and they have a rooftop restaurant, and they're putting on an event for the fireworks. And he said, if I were you, I'd go ahead and make a reservation, because it's going to be fantastic. And it was probably the first, or certainly the second most outstanding dinner experience that Stephanie and I have had in our 35 years together. The view was amazing. The view of Florence and the hills surrounding, and gardens, and the food was out of this world, and then there was the fireworks. It was amazing. So anyway, because he did such outstanding work, I gave him a coin too. So anyway, so that's what the coins are about. Both of our sons are also in the military, and our one son, Ian, is in the Air Force. Sean's in the Navy. And the Air Force started something a few years back where they award a challenge coin to everyone when they get out of basic training, when they graduate. And I thought that was kind of a cool tradition. And yeah, because some of these coins, sometimes the coins are given for outstanding work, like my original coin, and then sometimes they are, everyone in the unit gets the coins so they can identify one another. So anyway, with the Atlantic Hypnosis Institute, I've prided myself on having, well, one thing, what I think are the best certificates of any school in the world. I think they're really cool. If you have one, you know they're absolutely cool. Better than most university degrees. Certainly better than mine, and better than Stephanie's. They're just really cool looking certificates. But I wanted something more. And so I got the idea a couple of years ago that maybe I could come up with a coin for my students. And then about a year ago, somebody emailed me and said, "Hey, I met this fella. This is his name. He says he trained with you. Is that true?" And so I had to look through my records and confirm that person had trained with me. But you know, I was thinking about maybe it'd be kind of cool to have a coin that I could present to my students. And I'm happy to say that a couple days ago they came in. I had a special coin minted, and this is the coin, and I think it turned out really cool. It's has Atlantic Hypnosis Institute on the one side, and on the other side it has who it's from. It's from me. So anyway, the surprise is that starting now, the people who train with me are going to receive this coin. And just as a little extra thank you for taking my training. So next month is HypnoThoughts Live, and I'll be teaching a pre-conference course on street hypnosis there, and every student will receive this coin along with this certificate, which is really cool. And so so I just wanted to let you know there's still time to sign up for the class. It's usually a very large class, but a super fun class. For those of you who wonder, well, why, I'm a serious hypnotherapist, why would I want to take a street hypnosis class? The reason is that the skills that are taught in this class are exactly what you need for doing presentations. If, for instance, you want to do presentations at service clubs to try and bring more clients into your office. Also, if you're looking for ways to spice up your stage hypnosis, certainly the instant inductions are the way to go. Also, the instant inductions are outstanding for the more difficult clients in hypnotherapy, the ones that are maybe a little bit too analytical, and the instant inductions are just what you need for that. Or finally, as one of my students said, I finally, after completing the class, I finally know what to do when someone asks me at a party, "Hey, you're a hypnotist, can you show me something?" You'll know what to show them. You'll know exactly what to show them to look like a star. So, let me tell you a little bit about how challenge coins works, though. So you have your challenge coin. You can use this to get free drinks. The way a challenge works is if a person who has this coin presents it, sometimes they'll bang it on the bar, sometimes they slam it on the bar, and someone else who has that coin doesn't have their coin with them, maybe they left it at home, that's a bad thing to do, and they've been challenged and they don't have their coin. Well, that means they have to buy the drinks. But if someone challenges you, wraps the coin on the bar, and you do produce your coin, that person has to buy the drinks. Okay, so this is serious stuff. We're talking free drinks. So anyway, I hope you will join me in Las Vegas for the pre-conference course in street hypnosis. There is still time to sign up, so please do, and you get one of these. All right. Thanks very much. Bye.